Alright man, mistake number 1 as a new player is going to be pulling your shards outside of 2x shard pulling events. What does that mean? It means that you're going to wait for an event to come by that doubles your chance of pulling epic and legendary champions, particularly from your ancient and void shards, but also from your sacreds as well, as you begin to collect some of those, rare as that might be. You want to avoid pulling your shards during things like progressive chance events or even double legendary events, especially for ancient shards. The odds are just too slim. You can actually check on the odds of pulling champs at any given time by clicking on this little eye button up here, and that'll actually tell you straight up that you have a 0.5% chance only of pulling a legendary champion from your ancient shards and an 8% during normal times. Of course, during a 2x event, you can go in here and check this and these numbers will have doubled. So yeah, make sure that you're saving particularly your ancients and your voids to pull during 2x events as a new player. Mistake number 2, and this is a mistake that I made actually with what is currently my main account right now that I upload most videos on this channel, and that is not starting your new account with a beginner promo link. Dude, 2 free epic champions, man. I started off this account with Tyrell and Rector Drath completely for free just because I started the account off with a beginner promo link, and I actually didn't even do that on my main account. It's just embarrassing looking back, to be honest. And speaking of beginner promo links, down below, boys, we've got ourselves a new one. You can get your hands on Ugo and Tyrell for the dream start to your new account by starting off your new raid account by clicking on the promo link down below at the top of the video description. Ugo is, of course, an S-tier epic support champ that is not just good in the early game, but you're going to be using forever, okay? This champ is crazy as hell. So if you are looking for a fresh start on your raid account, that promo link is the best way to do it. Then you can enter the beginner promo code mid-game top to get your hands on Sigmund the High Shield once your account hits level 30. Insane beginner promo code, insane beginner promo link down below. Yeah, and just the best way to make a raid account right now, man. So there it is. Just make sure that you are signed out of Plarium Play on your PC before you go ahead and click on that beginner promo link to ensure that you get your hands on Tyrell and Ugo once your account hits level 25. Mistake number 3 takes us to the tavern, and it is going to be feeding good champions in the tavern because, dude, you'd be surprised how many people have horror stories of doing this, right? They'll take like the Tyrell, for example, that they got using a beginner promo link, and they want to go ahead and rank this guy up, and they'll be like, okay, dude, I'm going to go ahead and throw Kale in there because, oh my god, okay, I'm just not going to do that, but how good can Kale possibly be, right? He's just my starter champ. I'm going to go ahead and feed Kale in there to rank up one of my epic champions because Kale's just a rare. Not a big deal, right? Wrong, okay? Kale is a very, very good champ for an early game account. He brings poisons, he's good into Demon Lord Clan Boss. Just be very, very careful what champions you feed in to rank up your most powerful champs. A good rule of thumb is just to head into Google, okay? If you're not sure about a champion, head into Google, type hellhades.com, and then the name of the champion, and then you'll get a page that takes you to that champion page, and it gives the champ a star rating out of 5. If a champ isn't at least 2.5 stars out of 5, they're probably not very good. Just a decent rule of thumb, okay? Hellhades.com is going to be your best friend as a new player for, yeah, figuring out if a champion is worth keeping. Mistake number 4, upgrading items to rank 16. You might notice right here that I've actually got a few like 5-star items, even some 6-star gloves on my Kale that I have decidedly not ranked up to 16. That's because generally speaking, as a newer player, especially if you're a brand new player, you probably have no idea what even makes a good item or not. Clue is that it's really more about like the stats of the item rather than the star rating or the rarity of the item or even of the set of the item, to be honest. The stats on the gear is the most important thing, and because these are a flat attack pair of gloves on my Kale, they're just not worth taking up to rank 16. I'm not going to go too much into like what stats are best on certain gear types and for certain champs and stuff like that. There's a video linked down below in the description box, actually, if you want to check out just a basic beginner guide to gear in Raid after you're done watching this video. But yeah, if in doubt, don't rank stuff up to 16. Definitely don't rank any 3-star items up to 16. Anything 3-star or below is just almost guaranteed to be trash. That said, there are going to be some items that you're going to take on up to 16. For example, lifesteal gear that actually has some decent stat rolls on it, right? Things like crit rate, speed is always very, very good. Just good damaging stats on some lifesteal gear is going to help out your campaign clearing champs quite a lot. And you're also going to have to level some items up to 16 anyway, just to complete missions and challenges and stuff on your account anyway. So wait until you have no choice, or until it's some good lifesteal gear that you can actually use on a Champ 2 farm campaign. Mistake number 5 would be spending gems to unlock your champion's masteries, as you can see right here on Sun Wukong. Now, some people actually swear by paying these 800 gems to unlock the masteries on your first champ. This can be like your starter champ, like your Kale, or if you started off the game with, you know, a free legendary or whatever, or you've used one of the beginner promo links down below. Then some people can justify spending the 800 gems on one of those champs that you're going to be using for a long time to help get you off to a good like power spike at the start of your account. The other line of thinking is just spend your gems on leveling up your gem mine building back in your bastion, right? Which is what I've decided to do to just get this steady stream of gems coming in. Now, it's hard to say which way is totally correct or not. Some people swear by spending the first 800 gems on your strongest champ to get you off to that good start, whereas other folks will say just put all of the gems into the gem mine so you get that slow income of gems coming in every day. One thing is for certain though, once you've spent your gems on masteries one time, if you do decide to go down that route, that should be the first and the last time that you ever spend your gems on masteries. It is always more efficient to, if you want your masteries farming up on your champs, go ahead and farm them up manually by farming the scrolls in the Minotaur's Labyrinth dungeon. This shouldn't be something that you concern yourself with, honestly, super early on. You have to farm a little bit of Minotaur's Labyrinth to complete some challenges and quests and missions early on your account, and that's fine. Do what you have to do, like I have here. But afterwards, this is really a concern for once your account is a few months in, to be honest. You shouldn't be that concerned about farming your mastery scrolls. You've got many other things that you're going to want to focus on, like just spending all of your energy on leveling your champs, for example, in the early days. Mistake number 6, and this is a little bit of an unusual one as well. We're going to head back on into the tavern here and just, let's go ahead and select, do I have a rare champ just lying around? Okay, let's say that we want to take Skull Swan here and level up his skills. A mistake that some people make is actually blasting, like say I was completely out of rare skill tomes here, they'll actually go ahead and spend epic skill tomes on a rare champion to level up their skills. Even just having these keyed in is giving me anxiety, bro. I can't take it. Let's go ahead and remove these, man. Yeah, do not be spending skill tomes on a champ that doesn't match the rarity of that skill tome. If you want to level up the skills of a rare champion, okay, I wouldn't recommend you do it on Skull Swan, but let's just imagine that you did. Make sure that you use rare skill tomes, okay? Additionally, something else that people will fall into, and I didn't even realize that people make this mistake, but apparently they do, is that if you want to take a champion and level them up in the tavern, you'd go ahead and spend brews, for example, right? So Skull Swan is a Force Affinity champion, so we're going to use the Force Affinity red brews to level up the Skull Swan. They are much more efficient. What some people will actually do is just use any old brew. They'll actually assume that they're all just the same, and this surprised me a little bit, man. It's one of those things that just goes over some people's head and they just don't think about it, I guess. But as you can see right here, a Spirit Brew is only giving 12,500 experience points to Skull Swan because it's Spirit and he's Force, right? Whereas the Force Affinity Brew is giving nearly 19,000 experience. So it's just a game of efficiency and, yeah, just make sure that you're not screwing anything up too massively in the tavern when it comes to brews and skill tomes. Mistake number 7 is going to be not playing Arena, frankly. A lot of people say, well, you know what, I don't want to play PvP, I don't want to play a PvP style game, I'm just going to ignore Arena mode. How bad can it possibly be, you know? In a lot of games, PvP game modes are very optional and you don't have to do them. Raid is not one of those games, okay? To be honest, Classic Arena more just plays like PvE anyway. It's just a whole bunch of teams that you kind of go up against and just smash them. Just put a champion as your aura lead. For example, Sun Wukong here gives an aura that increases ally speed in arena battles by 28%, thus ensuring that I always go first. And I just mulch people, and that's it. You just mulch them, you just pulverize them, and you spend your arena tokens that way. And it's actually quite important that you do so, right? This is not a game mode that you can just avoid and ignore. One thing you can do, and we'll get to why in just a bit, but one thing you can do is set a very weak defense team of just one champion so that you consistently lose games just while you get used to arena, and so that you don't climb too high in like arena ranking. you've got a very, very weak defense team, so you're going to lose basically every defense battle that you play, and so your ranking is going to stay very, very low. You're going to stay in bronze for a while until you learn the ropes, okay? And then you can start to climb up towards silver and through to gold and stuff like that. But long story short, do not avoid arena. Make sure that you spend at least like 10 arena tokens a day, and these do regenerate throughout the day as well. And the reason for that is, well, actually leading into mistake number 8, I should say, you're going to be spending the medals that you earn in arena in the Great Hall. And mistake number 8 is actually going to be pertaining to the Great Hall, and that is, don't screw up your Great Hall. First of all, as a brand new player, right, you're in your first week of raid, you're eventually going to get some challenges pop up in like your challenge quests that are going to ask you to level up your attack nodes for every main affinity. Just avoid the void affinity down here in like the bottom row. You're not going to need to level up those for quite some time, but you're going to need to spend a few medals to upgrade these attack nodes right here. Once you've done that for the challenge that you're going to get, which I think I actually have active right now, you're never going to be spending your medals in attack ever again, or at least for like a year or two, okay? What you want to do after you've leveled your attack nodes to complete the challenge is start spending your medals in accuracy nodes instead. And what I would recommend is level all of these accuracy nodes right here, once again avoiding and just ignoring the void node at the bottom, but all of these 3 accuracy nodes right here, level them up to like rank 3 or rank 4. Then you want to pick one of them and level that one all the way up to level 10, okay? Just blast it. Why? Because you're going to have missions coming up, right? Your Arbiter missions rewards track. You're going to have a mission that requires you to have one node in your Great Hall leveled all the way up to 10. There's going to be a mission to take it to like 5, and then 7, then 8, then 9, and then 10, okay? And you do not, believe me, dude, you do not want to get stuck grinding for weeks because you're stuck on one mission and you weren't playing enough arena and you spread out all of your upgrades way too much, okay? Accuracy is good on like 80+% of champions in this game, and so accuracy is a great node to kind of focus on first and foremost. And yeah, just make sure that you take one of these up to 10 as kind of like a focus as well. And just in case that's not clear, by the way, the missions I'm talking about, the button is just down here, like behind my camera, beside the quest button here. You get your missions rewards track, and you can't progress onto the next mission until you've completed your current mission. And eventually you will come into that mission that requires you to have a level 10 Great Hall node. Mistake number 9 is going to be leveling up every single champion that you like and that you feel is kind of powerful, all the way up to level 60. It costs a lot of food and resources in your tavern building, right, to rank your champs up all the way up to 6 stars. Just make sure that you don't do it unnecessarily. If we go into our daily login rewards here and we look at, for example, the 30-day login reward champion, good old High Katoon. This is a great little champ, right? She's a supporting champion, epic champ. She brings an increased speed buff and some 10 meter fill, which is great. And she also brings some 10 meter decrease for enemies as well on her A3. She's a great champ. Thing is, she's not a damage dealer, okay? And you can get a hell of a lot of value out of your High Katoon by just leveling her up to 5 stars, level 50. You don't have to take her any further than that, and she could do a hell of a lot of work for your account and help you out a crap ton in the early months of your account. At level 50, no reason to 6-star your High Katoon. I mean, you can if you want later on, but she should definitely not be a priority. Conversely, your damage dealers, like for me, my Sun Wukong, your Kale as well, your starter champion is oftentimes worth taking up to level 60. Your damage dealers, you know, the champs that are going to allow you to farm the harder stages of campaign all the way up to brutal campaign. These are going to be these are the champs that you're going to want to take up to level 60, first and foremost as priority number 1 in the first month or 2 of your account. And the reason for that is, the stronger your campaign farmer is and the harder difficulty of campaign that they can farm, the quicker they can farm experience for food champions, and then you can level up more champions using those food champs, right? So you want to get your campaign farmer set up and max leveled as quick as possible, first and foremost. And mistake number 10, and once again, make sure to plop any that you feel like I missed down below in the comments, any big pitfalls that can really trip new players up. The next for me is going to be, you know what, man? Faction Wars and not spending your Faction Wars keys. You get free keys that unlock these happy little sort of dungeon areas here every week. And honestly, every day these rotate, I should say. And even if you can only clear literally stage 1 of these faction crypts, right? If I'm just throwing one champion in here that I've leveled up to 40 and he can solo this, that's great. Or I can throw some food champions in here as well, and these guys will get some XP as they go. Just farm these, okay? It's going to get you some super, super low level glyphs as rewards, which is great, as well as some material drops, as you can see here. Some low level crafting materials that are going to help get you started using your forge building when you eventually unlock your forge building. You might as well get a head start on these. It costs you nothing. These keys replenish every single day, and so you might as well get it done. And you know what, actually, mistake number 11, I'm just going to throw it in there because I just thought of it. But yeah, when you join a clan, and you should join a clan as soon as you possibly can in raid, you want to go into your Demon Lord clan boss right here, and you want to start hitting whichever clan boss level you can currently hit. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you want to play into normal clan boss, okay, and throw your team into normal clan boss and use your keys into normal clan boss, make sure you hit this little button right here at the right side of the clan boss and just check that you are actually dealing enough damage to the clan boss to unlock one of these chests. Ideally, one of the higher 2 tiers of the chest. Otherwise, if you're not able to hit even 900,000 damage for the adept chest into normal mode clan boss, then you are wasting your key into that difficulty of Demon Lord clan boss, and you might as well just stick with easy, right? Again, this is sort of a little bit of an obvious tip for, well, anybody who investigates the UI of the game, I guess. But just make sure that you're not wasting and squandering your keys thinking that you're doing something good by hitting a clan boss difficulty that your team is just not ready for yet. And hey, that is all we got for this video. Those, in the end, 11 beginner mistakes to avoid in Raid Shadow Legends. Now remember, if you're looking to get off a clean start in Raid or set up a new free-to-play account or something like that, make sure you do so by clicking on the promo link down below at the top of the video description. Then enter the beginner promo code MidGameTop to get your hands on good old Sigmund the High Shield, as well as Ugo and Tyrell that are associated with the promo link, man. It's an insane, insane stat. See you, boys.